Hello, everybody. Everyone
Hello.
watching live or watching this as recorded. How we doing?
Yeah, welcome.
Oh,
Yeah,
once
doing
again,
all right, man.
everybody.
You doing all right?
Oh, yeah, I'm doing good. Just
Cool.
fine. Just another week. Was watching yesterday the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, haven't seen it.
Pretty good. Pretty good. I can't lie. I was going for everyone but Austin Theory in the Chamber match.
Oh man, I thought you'd come around.
Yeah, but come on. I love all those guys better than Theory to have the title. But I get it. They're going to build up to Theory versus Cena at Mania.
Damian Priest, see in the Elimination Chamber.
He was in the Chamber.
Yep, and you like him more than Theory?
Oh, yeah. I like Priest more than Theory.
Yeah, Gargano.
Oh, yeah.
More than Theory. Yeah. Well, all right then, man.
Again, everyone in that chamber I liked more than Theory. Even Jonah, Bronson Reed.
Yeah, you do you, but
I know.
the correct person won.
Unfortunately. But yes, we have not properly introduced ourselves. I'm Big Bubba Brogdon.
Hi, I'm Bushdingo, the Luchador. This
We
is
are the Bad Brothers.
This is the Babyface breakdown.
Yep. Although we've always shown ourselves as more of a heel than a babyface.
Yeah. Well, it's it's 2023. What do those terms even really mean anymore? Seems to be flipped more often than not.
I know. It seems to be that the heels get more of the attention than the baby faces.
Yeah, one man's heel is another man's babyface.
Yeah.
Does it work like that?
Yep. Sorry, the dog finally wants to go out. 3 hours in here. She spends 3 hours in here and she finally wants to leave.
It's because I showed up, man. Can't hang out with the luchador.
I guess not. She's even whining. She was like, "Oh man, that guy."
Adjust some lighting there real quick. That was bad. Sorry about that.
Yeah, let me see if I can. I've gone a second light, but it's very bright, so I have to shine it away from me. Hold on, maybe that's better. Not much better. I'm very pale.
Yeah. Is it not dimmable?
It is. I just dimmed it.
That's as dim as it gets.
Well, that's as dim as it gets. That's pretty good.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, I was told I was very pixelated in the last video.
Yeah, I don't know what happens there. I don't know if that's an internet connection thing, if that has to do with YouTube or StreamYard, but
It might just be internet.
Yeah.
See, I don't know if you use an Ethernet cable, but I use router. I use the Wi-Fi.
Oh yeah, I'm Wi-Fi.
I have a router extender on this side of the house, so it may not be the best thing for streaming, but it works.
Yeah, little pixelation isn't gonna hurt anybody.
Yeah. All right. Well, first of all, did you even watch WWE last week?
I did. Yeah, I watched I watched NXT from 2 weeks ago, NXT from last week, and I watched Raw. So good bit of WWE there. I didn't watch the Elimination Chamber, but I have seen clips and highlights. I've seen a lot of the results. already. So I don't know if I'll find the time to actually sit down and watch the whole thing, but I'm definitely going to watch the main event. Hopefully,
Dude, that thing was a nail biter.
yeah. I've seen probably just about the whole dang match in clips and highlights.
The entire time, they actually made me think for a second Sami Zayn was going to walk away with the win.
Yeah. No, that's good. I mean, I saw some people, some of the reactions to that event, to the main event. It's split half and half. A lot of people are down with it and enjoy it. The other half, not so much. I think a lot of the people that I've seen that did not really enjoy the outcome, I don't know, seem to think that the story's over here, which is just from what I've seen in the clips, does not seem to be the case. I don't get the impression that this is the end of the story, man. I think it's going to keep going into WrestleMania. I think that's kind of the point.
I don't want this to end with Kevin and Sami winning the tag titles. I really don't, even though it seems like that's what it's going for. It would be better if they went the Daniel Bryan route, and where Sami Zayn has to go through a gauntlet of the bloodline, like how Daniel Bryan had to survive Triple H, and then make it to WrestleMania to be a triple threat match or a singles title.
Yeah, regardless of what the outcome is, it's all about the journey, man. And the journey so far has been pretty entertaining, and it's not over. I think there's more story to tell here. So I did catch like some clips from the Elimination Chamber media scrum. The little post.
I didn't watch that at all.
It was cringy, man. I wouldn't recommend watching it. I thought it was kind of cringy when AEW did it. But with AEW being at least attempting to kind of paint themselves as more like actual sports, it didn't feel as weird. With WWE, it felt very weird.
Because New Japan does it. New Japan does the conference.
Yeah. I mean, it's just so hard with WWE, I think, because a lot of the storylines and the characters, are a bit more theatric. They are a bit more of, a character that these people are portraying on shows. Whereas like New Japan and, for me with New Japan, that language barrier, there's not as much kind of differentiating between like the actual performer and their character. I really see, even though I know it's scripted just the same and these people are playing characters as well, there's not as much separation, up front for me. So with the WWE media scrum, man, it felt weird because a lot of them were talking out of character. And I don't know, man. I don't know why it really didn't work for me, but I did not enjoy it. I wish they wouldn't do it. If they're going to do it, I think it should be 100% in character, So
kind of like how MJF does it. He's never usually out of character.
Yeah, I mean MJF goes
character.
Yeah, he goes to comic conventions and does the meet and greets and stays in character the whole time. He's kind of a jerk to a lot of the fans.
On top of that, they only do press conferences to further advertise their products.
Right.
Mountain Dew Pitch Black.
Yeah. The scrum felt a bit weird.
Well, at least we got a match for tomorrow already announced from that. We'll have an U.S. Open Challenge being called by Edge. So it'll be Edge versus Austin Theory for the United States Championship tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a thing. Not too sure why, but That's the thing.
Pretty sure this is going to result in either Finn Balor coming to ringside and costing Edge the title by disqualification or run-in or whatever, or it's going to happen with, I don't know, Theory just beating Edge for some reason.
Yeah, either way. I mean, I'm not particularly invested in that. Either way, I think is good. Having Austin Theory get a clean win over Edge builds up Austin Theory more. Doesn't really hurt Edge too much. But really, probably the way to go is the scenario where Judgment Day cost Edge the match. That way, you can kind of keep that storyline going a little bit more. Theory still gets the win, in the books, albeit with an asterisk. It's still a win over Edge, but keeps that Judgment Day storyline going on, which I'm assuming they're gonna continue to do. So I don't know, that one doesn't necessarily feel over to me either. So in terms of it being done, like I don't know that the Judgment Day Edge feud is done. So
far from it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think at Mania it's gonna. Let's see. I'm already predicting matches at Mania. It's probably going to be Balor versus Edge or Balor versus Styles. Dominic versus Rey Mysterio. I'm already calling. They are going to have that happen. They've been building up to it.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty safe bet. They've kept the Mysterios, mostly apart. They've had some run-ins and altercations, but typically outside of, the ring, outside of WWE events even. So seems like they've been keeping them apart, so that they can bring them together at WrestleMania. So. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I mean, I Dominic has grown on me in terms of his character work. His in-ring ability still, hasn't really changed very much. It's not much better.
At least you can hate the guy.
Yeah, I mean, I
hated the guy before he was a heel, but at least you can hate the guy.
Yeah, he's in a good spot being a heel. They need to stick with that for a while. I think Rey Mysterio needs to take the L at Mania.
You sure?
Yeah. There's no reason why Rey Mysterio needs to win that match. Rey Mysterio's gonna be, retiring in the near future, and it'll do Dominic, much better. I think to have that feather in his cap, have that win, and that's gonna get him even more heat than he's already got. So just makes sense, man. Like I said, I don't really think it makes any sense to have Rey Mysterio go over there.
It'd be even bigger heat if he said he would do it for Eddie. If it was all about him being Eddie's actual son.
Yeah.
And him saying, Eddie was more of a father than you were. So you know what? This win will be for Eddie.
Yeah, man, and I don't know if you saw. I don't think we talked about it here. There was like a rumor going around that Vicky Guerrero and can't remember the daughter. Nah, the daughter.
Rey Mysterio's daughter?
No. Eddie.
Eddie's daughter. What?
Yeah, there was I believe is it Saul Guerrero? Is that Eddie's daughter?
I'm looking it up.
No, there's a rumor going around that Vicky and this
Saul Guerrero.
Yeah.
Was in NXT for a short time as Raquel Diaz.
Yeah, what's her relationship to Eddie Guerrero?
Daughter?
Yeah. So yeah, there's a rumor, going around for a minute that Vicky and Saul were upset with WWE and Dominic for bringing Eddie Guerrero, bringing his name into the feud with Rey Mysterio. But yeah, that turned out to be complete bunk. Vicky Guerrero went on Twitter and let everybody know that she's perfectly fine with them doing what they've done with, involving Eddie Guerrero in the storyline and dropping his name. And, she's a fan of Dominic, fan of WWE. So kind of squashed that rumor there.
Yeah, I believe Shaw was a announcer for AEW not too long ago.
Oh, okay. I did not know that. I knew she did some a short stint in NXT.
She did some NXT work. She did some work in Lucha Underground.
Okay, I don't recall her in Lucha Underground.
Final season.
Okay, which was she going by her actual name or?
Yes, Shaw Guerrero.
I don't know why I don't remember that.
It was season 5, so it was probably at the end of season 5, which was the last season they ever made.
Yeah.
Man, I miss Lucha Underground.
Yep. R.I.P.
Yeah. But anyways, we should get on with the news.
Yeah, man. Yeah, where you want to start? Start with Raw or?
Start with Raw. I mean, we both saw it.
Yeah.
All right. You want to start or should I start?
Yeah, you kick us off here.
Okay. Well, we're starting off with Raw, where we had Bianca Belair bring in a little bit of a challenge for both Becky Lynch and Bayley, because both of them believe they deserved a spot at the Chamber, but never did. Belair said if they could, either one of them could beat her in a triple threat match, then they'd be added to the card. That wouldn't go on till later tonight. So that's the main event. After that, we had the Judgment Days, Finn Balor and Damian Priest defeat the Street Profits in a tag team match, which wasn't that long. It wasn't that good. It was probably one of the only matches I didn't think wasn't good for the Street Profits.
Yeah, it wasn't anything special, man.
After the match, we had Dominic Mysterio come in and Edge come in to try and even the odds and take out Judgment Day. Beth Phoenix came in and attacked Dominic Mysterio, making Rhea Ripley attack her.
Yeah, and that was after I think Dominic did like a little backstage thing at the beginning of the show saying that Mommy wasn't there tonight. So when Beth Phoenix kind of cornered Dominic in the ring and was about to put hands on him. Yeah. Mommy came running through the crowd and saved Dominic.
Yep. After that, we had the official contract signing between Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley for the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, no, that was fine. Man, it was a nice little back and forth with them for a minute. Lashley actually left Brock Lesnar laying on his back, signed the contract. And Lesnar, was hurting, but he had him a good laugh. Yeah, because he got what he wanted. So I think that was a pretty good little segment. I'm glad that it was as short as it was. They didn't try to drag that out any longer.
Yeah.
It was an appropriate amount of time.
After that, we had kind of a squash match between Piper Niven and Mia Yim, or Michin.
Yeah.
It was a very short match.
Yeah, it was short, and
I don't like that.
Piper Niven, like you said, kind of a squash match. Mia Yim did not really get any offense in. Niven, destroyed her pretty fast, pretty quick.
Yeah, ever since Mia Yim's come back, it's been a little slow.
Yeah, for her.
Yeah. Other than the whole Judgment Day stuff, it's been very slow.
Oh, and that was like what, you know,
2-3 months ago.
Her return, and then that fizzled out super fast. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what WWE seems to maybe be just kind of keeping her around for just such a match, you know, like just enhancement talent.
We also had an altercation backstage, which is, I don't know what they're going to do with this. It was between the Maximum Male Models and Otis. And Maxine Dupree comes to Otis and gives her the business card.
Yeah, gives Otis the business card, asking him if he's ever thought about modeling. That was a pretty good little segment, man. You know, because she approaches Alpha Academy, you know, and she's obviously talking to Otis, but Gable takes it as her, you know, talking to him, and yeah, you know, I've always thought of myself as more of a role model, you know, and then she's like, no, not you. I'm talking about Otis, as she
really,
yeah, as she referred to him. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's something. I mean, kind of my read on it is they're somehow just messing with Alpha Academy and messing with Otis like it's a scam, you know? Like I don't think she's actually serious.
I hope not.
But I mean, either way, I'm kind of down for it. I think it could be pretty entertaining.
No.
Do you remember? I think it was it around Halloween when Alpha Academy came out dressed like the Chippendales?
Yes, it was Halloween.
Yeah. That was pretty funny, man. I got a good laugh out of that. And it didn't hurt my view of Otis at all. You know, it didn't seem to hurt him. He's not yet relegated to just doing like comedy work, but yeah, I don't know, man. I could see this being kind of funny, kind of entertaining. So
I don't want to see them do that to Otis, man. Otis has got so much potential. Yes, he's funny, but he's funny in such the right ways.
Yeah, and then that's why I think it could end up being good, entertaining, funny, amusing, but also not really hurt the guy, you know. So I don't know. Probably an unpopular opinion, but yeah,
I did not think that was what you were going to say.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm like I said, I'm down for it. I mean, it's the first and only time I think that I've been at all interested in the male models gimmick or group, you know. So, and that's saying a lot because they had LA Knight affiliated at a moment, and I could not get into it. I hated that. Yeah, this bit with Otis, man, I'm intrigued. I'm interested. I'm keeping an eye on it. So.
Well, after that, we had a little confrontation between Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn.
Yeah, man, another good,
great promo.
Yeah, really good segment, man. It wasn't quite Cody and Heyman, but it was up there, man.
I mean, it was Cody basically telling Zayn, "Listen, I'm gonna finish my story at Mania. You finish your story on Saturday." Which I don't think we'll get to it, but I don't think Sami's story is over.
Yeah.
And after that, we had Baron Corbin calling out Cody Rhodes and talking all this trash backstage, telling him that even Dusty Rhodes was such a disappointment, and that just set Cody off.
Yeah, they kind of played that up as like a backstage interview with Baron Corbin, and Cody was just like in the background, you know, just kind of overheard Baron Corbin, you know, name drop him, and then, you know, those remarks about his dad just set him off, and he attacked Baron Corbin.
Drug him out to the ring, made a match, and then just squashed Baron Corbin.
Yep. Super quick.
Yeah. After that, we also had a 6-woman tag team match between the Raw Women's Superstars and the SmackDown Women's Superstars participating in Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, Asuka, Carmella, Nikki Cross
versus Raquel, Liv Morgan, and Natalia.
Yep, and Team Asuka won. So
yes, with of course Asuka getting the submission.
Yeah, nothing special there, but not a bad match. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the bit with Asuka was probably the best. But I enjoy Asuka more than I enjoy any of those other wrestlers. So makes sense.
Then we had yet another surprisingly quick match between Bronson Reed and Mustafa Ali.
Yeah, you blink and you miss it.
I don't know why they booked such quick matches on tonight. I mean, Raw of last week.
I mean, Raw, I don't know. Raw, I don't think really should be used in that way. I think that's what you got main event for. You know, the Cody Baron Corbin bit was a little bit more than just a match because you had the backstage segment to kind of accompany that. So I'm not too upset with that one, but I do think the Piper Niven versus Mia Yim and this Bronson Reed Mustafa Ali match, like both of those should not have been on the show. Those should have been on main event or whatever show that nobody really watches that WWE is doing. So yeah.
After that, we had a Miz TV segment between Miz, Rollins, and afterwards Theory. Rollins was wearing something very weird, weirder than he usually does.
Yeah. So that's actually. I didn't realize it was Rollins at first. I thought that was Pac-Man. I thought Miz legit had Pac-Man on the show.
I mean, his boots. They're so cartoonish. And then he had a long sleeve fishnet shirt.
Yep, under like a puffy black shiny snow jacket type thing. It was red glasses to accent the Pac-Man boots. Yeah, it was. I mean, the segment itself was fine, but I don't really
can't get any better. He's perfect, man.
Yeah, I don't know. It was entertaining, but it was also kind of cringy.
It's kooky.
Yeah, it was silly.
We all saw the promo for Chamber where Rollins was the Joker, splashing down.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. I've seen the Rollins as Joker, and I've seen the Stone Cold Steve Austin promo where it's like a parody of Gladiator.
That's the old one. That's from when they first went to Hollywood.
Yeah. Those are the only two of these like little, parody things that I've seen. I enjoyed them. They're pretty funny.
They're doing some other ones.
Yeah, I know there's some other ones out there. So
there's some sneak peeks for some other ones. There's Judgment Day doing Stranger Things, Ford and Bianca doing Titanic. There's the Brawling Brutes and the Banger Bros doing 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Okay.
Where it's the wax scene in Rich Holland's the Adam Sandler, just waxing chest hair.
Okay.
Which Ridge Holland doesn't have any chest hair usually on him.
Right. Well, that's because he gets it waxed.
Apparently. But after that, huh?
Yeah, I knew there was some more of those going around. I just hadn't. Those were the only two that I'd ever seen. Which I like it. It's pretty fun.
Mm-hmm. I like when WWE does stuff like that to advertise.
Yeah.
Like I like the Royal Rumble where it's the kind of a musical, where they're like, "We're game to rumble tonight."
Yeah. Yeah, man. Boogs.
Dude, I don't know what's going on. Boogs has put down the Miz twice.
Yeah.
And this time the Miz was ready.
Yeah. Well, he did have
He did get stomped by Rollins. So
yeah, he got a little bit of a beat down at the end of Miz TV there from Rollins. So they
at least he wasn't wearing a suit.
Yeah, it was pretty funny though. I don't know if you saw the clip on social media after Rollins beat down the Miz. They went to a commercial break and had a whole like set change for the next match. And throughout all of that, Miz laid in the middle of the ring, and so you had all the the workers and the hands coming out to redo the ring and all this stuff, and nobody checked on him. He's just out in the ring, and everybody just worked around him throughout the entire commercial break. So that's pretty funny, man. You got Miz selling that
pretty well.
Right. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, Boogs defeats Miz pretty easily.
And then finally we get a long match, our main event between Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, and Bayley. If either Becky or Bayley won, they would either of them have been put onto the elimination card, which would have been surprising.
Yeah, and that was actually a pretty good match, man. I don't know how good it was because as we've just ran through, the rest of the show wasn't very great. There weren't really any tremendous matches on the card, so I think I think that three-way at the end there might have just been kind of viewed a little bit better than it actually was, just in comparison to everything that came before it.
Right.
For me. But yeah, I didn't skip it, man. I found myself entertained. It was a good little match, and probably one of the better matches I've seen from Bianca Belair. She did a pretty good job.
Yeah. So that was Raw.
Yep, that was Raw.
Up next would be NXT. Do you want to go over NXT?
Yeah, we can hit NXT. Yeah, the first match was Tyler Bate and Grayson Waller. That was a good match. That was my first time seeing Tyler Bate in quite a while. I mean, the last time, I don't even know the last time I saw Tyler Bate wrestle, but it was years ago. He had really short hair back then. Mm-hmm. If I'm not mistaken, did he have the mustache with Trent Seven?
Yeah, their team was called Mustache Mountain.
Right. That was the last time I saw Tyler Bate. So yeah, seeing him here, man, he looks a lot different. I enjoyed it though, man. I've always liked Tyler Bate every time I've seen him wrestle. So and he still did a great job. It's always weird to me seeing wrestlers that don't wear pads.
And so you got Tyler Bate not wearing pads.
Yeah, just the briefs and the boots, man. It's a weird look. I have a hard time with that. But it was a good match, man.
Yeah, it was. I like the whole rope rebound segment where they just kept rebounding off the rope and tricking each other and trying to hit moves on each other.
Yep.
So, and he had Grayson Waller actually mocking Bret Hart.
Yeah, I might have missed that. What was he doing there?
What was he doing? I think he was doing the corner stomps.
Mm-hmm.
And then he missed.
Okay.
And even after the match, he went to Shawn Michaels, started yelling at him and throwing stuff around.
Yeah, I did see that. Pretty amazing that he gets away with that without getting fired. Like Shawn Michaels just sits there and it's just like, it's like go to work tomorrow and try that with your boss and see what See how that goes over.
They probably do a Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
You're fired.
Yep. I guess though, in context with what we've seen, WWE in the past. I mean, you had Stone Cold dropping Vince, with stunners left and right back in the day, and he kept his job for the most part. So
that's Stone Cold.
Yeah. I mean,
this is Grayson Waller.
For comparing Grayson Waller to Stone Cold.
Nobody should ever be doing that.
Right. After that was Tiffany Stratton and Thea Hale. Still not a fan of Chase U, man. I like the people involved with Chase U, though. Like, I'm not crazy about the gimmick, the characters per se, but I kind of like the performers, the people involved. So Tiffany Stratton, I'm not crazy about, but I think she's pretty good at what she does. I didn't catch her previous run with NXT, so I know she's been out for a while. But so far, man, I'm enjoying having her. Like I said, I'm not a fan. I wouldn't cheer for her, but I think she has a place. And that as long as they keep her a heel, I think she'll be good to have around.
Don't forget, we also had some stuff with the Schism still trying to recruit Tiffany, it looks like.
Schism trying to recruit Tiffany?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I saw that. I did see them kidnap Thea.
Really?
Yeah. She got snatched up by them. Came running out to the ring at one point during one of the Chase U matches, and she was covered in like Schism pins, like the smiley face.
Yeah, Thea was. Yeah,
and so she's like freaking out, because they had done something to her. And then when she had that match with Tiffany Stratton, I think there was a distraction from Schism.
Yeah, from The Rock's daughter.
Yeah.
Ava Raine.
Yeah, came out wearing the Schism mask and, just distracted Thea for Stratton to get the win. So it's pretty cool. Nothing special there with the match for real, but advancing that storyline a little bit. So after that was Damon Kemp and Axiom.
I like Axiom. I just don't like Damon Kemp.
Yeah, I'm not really a fan. The match itself wasn't anything special. Axiom did great, and I mean Damon Kemp's not bad, but he doesn't really wow me or impress me. And to be in the ring with Axiom and come away with nothing really impressive. So I don't know about that guy.
Yeah. Where's Scripps? I believe Scripps and Axiom would have a great match.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, Axiom got the win over Kemp there. That one was fairly short. It wasn't too long.
Kemp. We had a little altercation between Pretty Deadly and Gallus backstage afterwards.
Yeah. I did see them playing some pool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Of course, Pretty Deadly still being like that Baron Corbin, that bum-ass look.
Yep, got to get it together, man.
Speaking of Baron Corbin, just give him some time so he can grow his hair back and bring him back to being the lone wolf.
Baron Corbin, can't grow his hair back unless he gets some transplants or hair plugs or something.
Why is that?
He's balding, man. Looking it's looking pretty rough there before he cut his hair.
Well, do something with them, please.
Yeah, I don't know,
Give
man.
him his own theme song back, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to put that much into the lone wolf character, Baron Corbin, and then just have him be where he's at right now, which I think is, pretty. We talked about pretty low on the card. I think Corbin might just be enhancement talent for a little while,
which is so sad.
Yeah, I mean, somebody's got to do it though.
Dolph Ziggler.
Dolph Ziggler.
I'd rather have Dolph Ziggler do it than Corbin. Love Ziggler too. Think he should be a WWE champion, but over Corbin, I believe Ziggler should be the jobber in this situation.
Nah, I'm gonna disagree with you there.
Ziggler, Ali, please, Ali maybe.
Yeah, well, Ali's down there with Corbin. They're both fulfilling that role. Yeah, Ziggler deserves upper mid card. I don't know if he's quite ever going to get back to main event status, world title picture, but he should at least be upper mid card.
I don't know, maybe one day we'll get a Money in the Bank run with Dolph Ziggler, and then all of a sudden, bang, he's WWE champion.
Yeah, I won't hold my breath. Like I said, I wouldn't be mad at it, but I'm not going to be holding my breath for that.
Well, we got a little bit off topic.
Yeah, Wesley and Von Wagner.
NXT Open Challenge, NXT North American Championship Open Challenge.
Yep.
Didn't Tony D'Angelo come out, and then all of a sudden Dijak comes out afterwards and attacks them? Before the match?
Yeah.
And then that's what made Von Wagner come out.
Yep. And then we ended up with Von Wagner versus Wesley. Wesley won, of course.
What is Von Wagner?
Not too sure, man. I've only seen him a couple times. I mean, he's somewhat impressive, but he's definitely not.
I mean, his first match in NXT was for the NXT Championship in a Fatal 4-Way. It was the first championship match of NXT 2.0. It was on the first show, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Between Ciampa, Gargano, Wagner, and who's the fourth? Adam Cole, maybe. No. Kyle O'Reilly, I think.
Adam Cole, maybe.
Shut up. No. Yeah.
Missed opportunity, man.
He has to be a monster, and he's losing constantly.
Yeah. I don't really get that.
What was the match after that?
It's Charlie Dempsey and Hank Walker.
Okay.
So, yeah, had a little backstage segment with Drew Gulak. And, yeah, Hank Walker, I believe. Walker finally got some wrestling gear. So he's not wrestling in street clothes anymore.
He's got a singlet.
Yep. Yeah, and his boots didn't get shipped in time or finished in time or whatever, so he didn't have boots. And Drew Gulak gifted him a pair of boots. Had the match with Charlie Dempsey. Charlie Dempsey won. it was a decent match. I believe that was my first time seeing Charlie Dempsey. He's is he the son of
He's
William
Regal's
Regal?
son.
Right. So yeah, there's some potential there, man. I see some potential there for sure. But yeah, after the match, Drew Gulak seems to have left Walker behind and walked backstage with Dempsey. So looks like we're going to see Gulak and Dempsey working together in the future, which I think is a pretty good pairing. You know.
After that, we had a few altercations happen before the main event between Jinder Mahal and Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
That was interesting because it looked like the entire crowd was behind Mahal and against Breaker.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like whenever Mahal was last seen, before he popped back up in NXT, I feel like the fans were still on board, still behind Mahal. So yeah, it is weird though, because I mean, Braun Breaker had a pretty good bit of fan support too. But yeah, it does seem like Mahal is a little bit more of the favorite here.
Yeah, and then we had another altercation between Ilya Dragunov, JD McDonough, and Trick Williams.
Yep. Yeah, and that was so Dragunov coming out to I guess confront what's his name?
McDonough.
Yeah.
Talking trash, saying that you hurt me, I'm going to hurt you. And McDonough's like, you don't get it. This isn't about hurting anymore. I'm going to beat you so bad that your own child won't even want to look at you.
Yeah. So unfinished business between the two of them.
And then Trick Williams just gets thrown in there and attacks Dragunov just because he got in the way last week.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a fine little segment.
Mm-hmm. And then for the main event was a tag team match between the former women's tag team champions, NXT women's tag team champions, Carter and Chance, versus Roxanne Perez and a mystery partner, which turned out to be the final boss, Michael Santomura.
Yeah, I believe it was last week whenever Chance and Carter were kind of bullying Perez a little bit backstage.
Yeah, it looks like they're heels now.
Yeah. I mean, kind of. They kind of blurred that line a little bit. But they were just upset that in their view they got robbed, lost the championships, and started picking on Roxanne for not having any friends. And Roxanne said that she most definitely had friends, and in fact, she was going to make a phone call to a good friend of hers to come in and have a tag match. And yeah, it ended up being Mako Satomura. Not too familiar with her.
She was the last NXT UK Women's Champion.
Okay.
I think she's Chinese descent.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Her
nickname is the Final Boss.
Yeah.
And after the match, it looks like she requested a championship match against Perez.
Yeah, I mean, from what I saw of her, she was pretty good. So, yeah, hopefully that ends up being a good match. Perez is still, I think, kind of adjusting a little bit to WWE NXT, to that style. But she's good. So I think seeing those two together, man, could be a really good match.
Yeah. Well, that's all of NXT. Did you watch any of AEW Dynamite?
I did. Yep. I watched a good bit of that. Said Orange Cassidy, the Acclaimed.
Yeah. Orange Cassidy, the Acclaimed, and Billy Gunn.
Versus Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett, Satnam Singh, and Sanjay Dutt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nothing too special there for me.
And it looks like MJF appeared firstly. Well, not really firstly, but it looks like MJF appeared and delivered a little bit of a promo.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, like, I don't know, man. I'm still a fan of MJF. He's pretty great, but he's gonna have to start mixing things up a little bit. His promos are getting to a point where they're a bit predictable. It's just kind of the same formula every time.
I'm the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. You guys are losers. It's becoming the Miz to a point.
Yeah. It's
Which
even
we've already compared MJF to the Miz, but MJF is just becoming the Miz.
Yeah. He's just kind of, even like a lot of his like cut downs and kind of, quips that he's hurling at the fans, at his opponents. They're not very thoughtful. Low hanging fruit. I haven't even really. I mean, lately, it hasn't even really been anything that clever or witty. So yeah, it's one of the first times that I found myself just kind of like over it and wanting that to just be over, So that's that when he called out Christopher Daniels.
Yeah.
So he talked a bunch of smack about Daniel Bryan.
Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, Bryan Danielson, whatever.
Just not to use facts.
Yeah, so he called out Christopher Daniels. Gave the impression that Daniels was going to join in like berating Danielson. Christopher Daniels pulled out an envelope of money, basically told everybody that MJF had paid him off to try and get him to, say a bunch of disparaging things about Bryan Danielson. And he wasn't going to do that because Danielson was one of the best in the world. One of, somebody that's really impressed Christopher Daniels over the years. And so he wasn't going to say anything bad about him. MJF, on the other hand, he had some pretty negative things to say about MJF. They got in each other's face. Christopher Daniels ended up, I think, shoving MJF in the face or slapping him in the face or something. MJF went for the low blow, started beating up on Daniels. Daniel's son came out to the ring and ran off MJF to make the save for Christopher Daniels.
Yep. And that went a little bit out of order, but I just want to address that.
Yeah.
Now we can get back into order with the whole stupid 4-man match.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's not really anything of note there. It was what it was, which was not really anything. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well said.
Nothing really to say about that. So, yeah, Blackpool Combat Club, La Faction Ingobernables. So Preston
Vance and Roosh.
Yeah,
with
Roosh.
Jose.
Yep. That was a pretty good match.
Yeah. It was pretty good. It was a Texas Tornado death match, tag team match.
Yeah.
Thought it was okay.
I mean, it was okay. It wasn't anything too
It
special.
was okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. After that, we had a singles match between the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champion Mark Briscoe and Josh Woods. Josh Woods? Josh Woods.
Josh Woods. Yeah, Josh Woods being a former Ring of Honor pure champion. Mark Briscoe has never held a singles title in Ring of Honor.
His brother, though, has.
Right. Yeah, I knew that. I was kind of surprised to a very small degree that Mark Briscoe hasn't held a singles title, but ultimately not very much because he is known, more so for being a tag team wrestler. So, yeah, his first match in AEW was against Jay Lethal. That was a really, really good match, really solid match. This match with Josh Woods was also really good. It was a step down, I think, from the Lethal match.
But I'm a sucker for the Death Valley Driver. I'm a sucker for that move.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so the Death Valley Driver to the Froggy Bow, Froggy Elbow, for the win.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was a good match. Like I said, it wasn't quite as good as Jay Lethal, but it was still good. So I'm definitely interested to see how Mark Briscoe does with this solo run. Obviously, it'll be a little weird, for a little while, seeing him without Jay. I think AEW is gonna probably treat him pretty well. So
hopefully,
I expect him to do well in terms of like wins and titles and how AEW treats him. I'm just interested to see like how many singles matches he can put on that are really, really good. Not saying that he can't do it. Like I said, he's just known for being a tag team wrestler, so it's hard for me to really, really see him as anything other than that right now. Likewise, I do think it would be weird if he were in a new tag team right now. Like would almost feel like replacing Jay. Which there's
would
not.
be right.
Yeah. So I don't think that's the way to go. So I'm happy to see him. There. I'm glad he's there. I'm glad he's doing a little singles run. But yeah, I just don't know how many 4-star, 5-star matches we're gonna see from that. So I am.
Like he's still holding the tag team titles.
Yeah, still Ring of Honor tag team champions. So I mean, at some point, that's gonna have to be addressed.
He's gonna have to either drop the titles or, it's the final letting go of his brother.
Yeah. So it's I'm glad that they haven't done it already. I think giving it a little bit more time. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what they do, man. How they handle that. I almost with I don't know the first Ring of Honor tapings since AEW or Tony Khan purchased Ring of Honor. I believe are going down this weekend or sometime soon. Honor Club. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they handle Ring of Honor. I don't know if they're going to make it its own thing and just kind of stop, sharing Ring of Honor talent with AEW. I don't know if that's just going to be like this. Ring of Honor is a show now, and AEW talent can go wrestle for Ring of Honor. I don't know if it's going to have its own dedicated roster. I'm not really sure how all that's going to play out. I almost don't think it would be a bad idea to possibly, I don't know, maybe retire those Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions titles. Might be a little weird to say that or think that, but I don't know, man. It's hard to replace the Briscoe brothers in terms of like Ring of Honor tag division. And with all the titles that AEW has, it almost wouldn't be a bad idea. It's gotten to the point with the championships, and really, I mean, WWE's kind of guilty of this as well, of just having too many championships. You watch an AEW show, and it's like every person that comes out has a title. So I think having less championships would probably be a good thing. Makes them mean more, when less people have them. So I don't know. It may sound like a weird idea out of left field, but I almost, with kind of the current state of things, just maybe retire those Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. You'd still have, the Ring of Honor TV title, the Ring of Honor Pure Championship, the Ring of Honor World title, the Ring of Honor six-man tag titles. So you still have a bunch of Ring of Honor championships that you can, work with. So we'll see what they decide to do.
I'm getting ready to riff this next one.
Yeah.
Because it makes no damn sense.
I think just by you saying that,
I'm getting so angry.
Yeah. Let me guess. Is it the Jungle Boy match?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You know how I said I have a lot of respect for the Death Valley Driver move?
Yeah. This
match killed that respect a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no way in sense anywhere that Brian Cage should be losing to Jungle Boy. We addressed this last week.
Yep. We did talk about it. I forgot that we talked about it until I sat down to watch, and it started happening. And yeah, I was watching that episode. My wife was hanging out, not really watching the show with me. But yeah, when that match ended, I was audibly upset.
Yeah, I was at work, and I was watching at work, and I didn't really control myself, and I did get some reactions from what I said in reaction.
Right.
Because I work in the gym. I thought the gym was pretty empty. I guess there was like 2 people in there.
Yeah. Well, I did kind of rewind to the last maybe minute of the match, and I made my wife watch the match. And without telling her what I was upset about, she even right before the 1, 2, 3, she realized what was about to happen, and yeah, she understood my frustration. She agreed. She's like, there's no way. There's no way. No way that will happen.
It's like James Ellsworth pinning Braun Strowman.
Yeah, or Brock Lesnar. Yeah.
There's no sense that Brian Cage should lose to Jungle Boy.
Yeah, I mean, not only that, not only should Brian Cage not be losing to Jungle Boy, Brian Cage should be getting the push that Jungle Boy is getting.
Right.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have been mad if Brian Cage lost via distraction or even somewhat of a dirty move.
It was a roll-up, man. He lost clean to a roll-up.
Roll-up.
Yep, the most devastating move in professional wrestling.
It was a knee strike. It was a Death Valley Driver to crucifix bomb, and then a knee strike. And then roll-up.
Yeah.
And the roll-up wasn't even that good. I thought his elbow was up. I thought his whole shoulder came up. He's so big. Versus Jungle Boy being so small.
Yeah, it was bad, man. And, afterwards, I went on a little rant, to my wife, who ultimately doesn't really care. But, just pointing out that I miss the days, of, 80s, 90s wrestling. I was like, you would never see that.
The little guy would never win against the big guy.
But then again, I also, had to realize that there weren't little guys back then. Jungle Boy would not have been in 1989 WWF.
Unless he was taking steroids.
Yeah, it just wouldn't happen. But if he were, he wouldn't be getting wins over the big guys. Like I was telling her, man. I mean, I'm not necessarily opposed to a David and Goliath scenario or story. It can be done properly.
But build up Goliath.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, build up for sure. Yeah, build up Goliath. Tell a good story. Make it somewhat believable. I think we've mentioned Daniel Bryan, Sami Zayn. I think those are examples of the smaller guy being able to get the win, or at least making it believable to the point where you don't know if the little guy is going to win or not, and he could possibly get the win there. But
remember this because we'll bring this up again at Elimination Chamber.
Oh, I'm sure. But with the Jungle Boy, Brian Cage situation, that's none of that was done. And we knew, you and I, when we talked about the fact that match was coming up, we knew how it was going to play out. We're not at all surprised by the result. It doesn't make it any less, frustrating, infuriating, but yeah, there was no. Throughout that entire match, I was just bracing myself to be upset because I knew Brian Cage wasn't going to win. And that's, I don't know, properly done. They should have built Brian Cage, like you said, to be the Goliath, be, a dominating force that seemingly Jungle Boy cannot overcome. And then you have him, get the win after a hard-fought battle, an excellent performance. But yeah, it was a fairly short match too. It wasn't super long, and Jungle Boy gets a roll up and gets the win, man. It was BS.
That's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
And then you had Christian Cage come down, and of course he's not injured anymore, and attacks Jungle Boy, whatever.
Yep, came out with his arm in a sling, tricked Jungle Boy thinking he was still injured. Christian Cage, beats him down a little bit. So that was at least somewhat satisfying after, what went down with Brian Cage. Good to see Jungle Boy get a little bit of a beat down.
Which felt really good.
Yep.
After that disaster, we went on to another match, which was Adam Page versus Kip Sapien.
All right. Did have a really cringy backstage interview with Renee Paquette and Adam Cole. I hit the fast forward button so fast.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah, no. Not interested. But
No,
yeah,
Adam Cole.
Yep. Adam Page, Kip Sapien.
Yep.
Yep. What did you think about that?
Short match.
Yep.
It didn't even end with a Buckeye Lariat. It ended with a Deadeye. And with a Deadeye pile driver.
Yeah. Yeah.
It ended with a signature move instead of a finishing move.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was Kip Sapien.
It's Adam Page.
Yeah. Not a Page fan. Said it before. I'll probably say it 100 more times. But yeah, Moxley came out to
with Yuta and Claudio.
Yeah, confronted Page, basically saying that it should be over. He got the win. Had Dark Order come out to get involved, even though Adam Page was trying to, tell them not to. Evil Uno stepped up, got in Moxley's face.
Now that I enjoyed.
Yeah, that was actually pretty good, man. It was good to see Evil Uno kind of grow a pair and
just Dark Order in general growing a pair and coming up to Moxley.
Yeah, and it was good, man. Evil Uno did not pull any punches or back down. He actually shoved Moxley in the face.
Yeah, shoved Moxley in the face, got nose to nose, out.
Which
that's a match I would like to see, which is going to happen Wednesday.
Yeah, Moxley didn't really address it too much, though. He didn't really come back at. I mean, he got in Evil Uno's face, but he didn't have any.
Right through Uno, right at Page, saying Texas Death Match at Revolution.
Yeah. Yep. So I don't know. I mean, maybe that was the intention all along with Dark Order and Evil Uno, just trying to, get Mox fired up so that he would, have that match with Page, because Page was saying, that their story wasn't over, didn't want it to end the way that it ended. So I think having the death match, and that's, even though I'm not a big Page fan, I think that death match with Moxley and Page could be pretty good. Could somewhat redeem Moxley from that exploding.
Don't. The exploding death wire match.
Yeah, exploding barbed wire death match. It's hard not to, man. That thing still stands out as being one of the.
Has that much money and just blows it up with sparklers.
Yeah.
Can't even have the ring implode. Can't even have the ring bound in and implode like they do for Kane or the Undertaker or stuff like that.
Well, and that was when the arena was empty, right? Did they have actual fans there for that?
No, I don't think so.
Right. So you could have done, a pre-taped cut scene, explosion. You could have actually done something pretty theatrical. You could have done camera tricks. There's all kinds of things you could have done. And what we got was just, man, it was legit. I think one of the worst moments in recent.
Worst moments in wrestling history.
Yeah. And it's not just the lackluster explosion. It was Eddie Kingston's reaction, to all of it that made it even worse.
He was like, what was that?
Oh, he was on top of Moxley, shielding him from the explosion that never really happened. Like you said, a few sparklers go off in the corner, and for some reason that ended up causing Eddie Kingston to pass out on top of Moxley.
I remember that.
Yeah, he just lays. He goes limp, and it just lays on Moxley for a really long time. Yeah. Yeah. So it's, he had his head down. He couldn't see, in Eddie Kingston's mind, he probably thought that everything went off without a hitch. It was some huge explosion. So it's oh man, I got to play this up as some big deal.
The smoke had went through the screen like an Edge entrance and then nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. But Kingston, straight up, man, watch it again. He just goes limp and lays on Moxley for a really long period of time.
Really?
Yeah. So bad. But anyway, point being, this death match with Page could
redeeming that match.
Yeah. For Moxley at least. I don't know if Kingston will ever be able to live down.
I mean, Kingston has had some cool moments. Remember the time when he almost tried to kill Chris Jericho with the gasoline?
Yeah.
There was murder behind that man's eyes.
Yeah.
I actually was holy crap, they're going to set him on fire.
Yeah, but then you think back to him passing out because of some sparklers, and it's it's a little bit less intimidating.
I try not to.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the main event just because we have seen it so many times.
I skipped it as well, man. I'm not big into. I actually really don't like Ruby Soho. Not big into Tony Storm. I like Britt Baker.
Again,
but
I like NXT Tony Storm more than AEW Tony Storm.
yeah, for sure.
It was a triple threat match, I guess, and I think Soraya did the whole paint on people again.
Well, she spray painted Tony Storm's butt. Yeah.
Isn't Tony Storm with her though?
Yeah, let me explain. So the idea, they had Britt Baker in the corner, and Tony Storm is in the opposite corner. Soraya spray paints an L on Tony Storm's butt. Tony Storm then runs at Britt Baker and hits her with, I don't even know what you would call it, but she, hits her in the face with her butt. So, like, the idea, I guess, was to
take an L to the face.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if the paint was
That's so stupid.
It was. I don't know if the paint was supposed to like come off of her butt and end up on Britt's face, but even that wouldn't really work, because if you're doing an L and it were to transfer onto Britt's face, it would be a J, because you would have to spray paint the J in order to get it transferred to an L. So
you might as well put it upside down. It'd be like Luigi becoming Waluigi.
Yeah, I don't really know what the thought process or the intention was there. It was pretty stupid. It was pretty dumb. So yeah, that's what we got. Main event, Dynamite. You got one woman spray painting another woman's butt.
For those of you that still are AEW marks and say that AEW is so much better than WWE, no, bad fans.
Yeah. I mean, they both have their strengths and their weaknesses. Right now, it would be hard to argue that AEW currently is doing better than WWE.
No.
Yeah.
They got the hype in 2020, or 2019, 2020, kind of in 2021, 2022 fell off. 2023 still off the trails.
Well, in early AEW too, you always had the fallback of, it's a new company, man. They're figuring things out. And I think at this point we're what,
We're only 4 years in.
4 years in.
We're only 4 years in.
Yeah, I don't know that you can keep using that as an excuse. At this point, they're not really a new company. They should have figured things out by now. So, they've fallen off in recent months, man. Pretty far for me. I think it was. I didn't watch Rampage, but I believe on Rampage, I don't know if you saw any clips from the Elites match.
That was.
Did you catch any of that? The basketball match?
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, AEW marks fans out there who defend this crap. What is that? What is that? It was like a slam dunk trios match with like a basketball in play. I'm not really sure what.
It's just called nonsense.
Yeah, straight up nonsense. It was pretty, pretty cringe.
If you say that AEW is more, wrestling than WWE is.
I mean,
and then you show this.
Yeah.
Even they're doing bowling night. What is this?
Yeah. I mean, typically I would agree that AEW, does showcase the wrestling more, with WWE being more focused on sports entertainment and storylines. And I do think that that's usually the case. But yeah, whenever you see stuff like this on AEW, it makes it really hard to argue that one should be taken more seriously than the other. I think they're equally, theatrical. It's not. I don't think either one is really close to being a believable, like, mainstream sport, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, there was only 4 matches on the card for Rampage.
Oh yeah, and that made the cut.
And one of them wasn't even 2 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that match opened with jump ball between one of the Bucks and was that Top Flight that was in that?
I think it was Dante Martin.
Yeah. And so they did the jump ball, and whenever they threw the ball up, I think it was Matt or Nick Jackson basically just extended their knee. So was it Dante Martin jumped up to try and get the ball and came down hard on a knee to the crotch.
The only good thing about that match is AR Fox.
Yeah, I mean, even he didn't really save it, man.
No.
Yeah, I couldn't get into it, man. I couldn't get into any of the arena stadium stampede match stuff that AEW has done in the past, where they, I think Kenny Omega and the Bucks were involved in that too, where they're, running around on a football field. Couldn't get into that either. So.
Yeah. And then you had, was it the Malachi Black and all of them coming out? Looks like they're going to challenge the House of Black, going to challenge the Elite for the titles. And even after that, you had Orange Cassidy and Wheeler Yuta about to have like a Ring of Honor Pure Championship versus Atlantic Championship match coming up, like a title for title. It could work, but not with those superstars.
Yeah, I don't really care much about that. I don't like Yuta enough to overlook my extreme, lack of enjoyment with Orange Cassidy and what he does. And I also don't like Yuta enough to, get behind him in that match versus Orange Cassidy.
Here's what you do. You bring in Miro, who has been out for a long time, who is not injured because he showed up for the was it Celebrity NBA games?
Yeah.
And then you make him All Atlantic champion. And then maybe it's a little better for Miro versus Yuta.
Yeah, I mean that's a match I would definitely watch. So
I'm not going to watch Orange Cassidy versus Yuta. I don't care about Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, not at all, man. I'm amazed. I'm amazed that got signed in the first place, but I'm definitely amazed that he's
one of the first people to get signed.
Yeah, I'm definitely amazed that he's still around, and especially a champion.
Why is he a champion again? Because he has a cool gimmick.
I think he sold some shirts.
Yeah, some merchandise. Just does this sometimes.
Yeah.
All right, I'm getting upset.
Unfortunately, I didn't have time to watch any Impact this week. I did see a.
You missed something that I wanted to bring up from Rampage. I know we're getting mad at Rampage and all this, but the main event I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
The main event was The Natural, Dustin Rhodes versus Swerve Strickland with his Parker Bordeaux.
Okay.
The match was going great. It was actually really cool. Dustin, of course, is very old. He's going to be a little sluggish, but Swerve countered all that. But in the end of it, Dustin won. But he didn't pin Swerve. He didn't tap Swerve out. Heck, the match didn't even go on a full 20 minutes. The match ended in disqualification.
Is it Keith Lee?
No.
No?
Parker Bordeaux attacked Dustin Rhodes during the match,
Okay.
throwing him to the steps, resulting in AEW's first disqualification.
Really?
Yes.
That's kind of surprising. It took this long to get a DQ.
No match has ever ended in disqualification or countout until now.
Huh.
They've ended in draws because of the time limit, but they've never ended in disqualification. Which I guess AEW marks can now not say that AEW doesn't do disqualifications.
Right.
So they can't use that excuse anymore.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed Dustin getting the win there, even though it is a DQ win. I still wouldn't have thought that.
I mean, they could have just as easily had Swerve pin him, or him just rolling up Swerve, and then a Parker Bordeaux attack.
Yeah.
They went ahead, disqualified, making it the first match in 4 years of AEW that they've ever had disqualification.
Well, didn't Keith Lee?
Oh, Keith Lee came in afterwards.
Yeah.
With a stupid looking look.
Yeah.
If you have very little hair on the top of your head, and I'm not knocking you for any of this, you don't bleach it. Because then it makes you look old.
Yeah, he's got like a gray hair kind of look going on. Yeah.
With no beard, no mustache.
Yeah, I mean, I would rather than the DQ, I think having Keith Lee maybe come out and distract Swerve, so that Dustin could get the win would have probably been the better way to go there.
Definitely.
Yeah, seeing as how he's going to come out anyway.
Yeah. But just to have, I mean, Keith Lee and Dustin Rhodes looks like twins with that hair. Literally, they are matching hairstyles. Honestly, give Keith Lee a big old lazy eye and he'll look like Uncle Ruckus. If you're surprised to know what the Boondocks is, then I've got a lot more surprises for you.
No, I'm not too surprised there, but yeah, good reference.
Just AEW has made me a little bit mad this week. And I'm finally letting it all out because I mistakenly let a little bit out at work.
Right. But yeah. Definitely wasn't AEW's week.
Thankfully, though, I did switch back and forth between SmackDown and Rampage. By God, was it a better show?
Yeah.
For the most part.
I don't think I saw any buzz about SmackDown.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, we started off the night with the Ronda Rousey match, but other than that, it was pretty good.
Yeah. Who did she face?
It was Rousey and Baszler versus Natalya and Shotzi.
Okay.
Of course, Rousey and Baszler won, but I didn't care.
Yeah.
I was too busy watching the Elite and Top Flight scoring hoops.
Right.
So that wasn't Did you watch SmackDown at all, or did you?
No, I didn't. I had to watch last week's or the week before NXT. So yeah, that just to get all the way caught up on that, I didn't have time for SmackDown. Okay. That's why I say I didn't. Normally, my social media feed will have some of the highlights, some of the good stuff, pop up, and I didn't see anything about SmackDown this week. So,
well, then you'll probably be very surprised of Hit Row making an entrance, looking like they're going to have a match. But instead, Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy come out and attack Hit Row.
Okay, yeah, I guess I did hear. I didn't see it, but I heard that. I guess Bray Wyatt was challenging either Brock Lesnar or Bobby Lashley, like whoever the winner from that is.
Yep.
So yeah, I did hear
very about interesting.
That. Yeah, not what I expected for Bray Wyatt or for the Lesnar Lashley feud.
So, and we'll get more into that for the Chamber, but after that we had the Viking Raiders and the Banger Bros, Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. I don't care if they almost got sued by a porn company. I'm still going to call them that just for comedic effect.
Yeah, I mean they'll be that for the rest of their time as a team.
You call them that once on live television, it's going to stick somehow.
Yeah.
But you had McIntyre and Sheamus defeat the Viking Raiders in a pretty good tag team match.
Okay.
It could have gone either way, in my opinion. Viking Raiders could have defeated Sheamus and McIntyre, or as Sheamus and McIntyre defeated Viking Raiders. Either way, it was a pretty good combo of moves. Really good ending. McIntyre came out of nowhere with that Claymore.
That's cool. I mean, definitely probably the team that should have won. I don't know what the Viking Raiders are really doing. I haven't really seen much of them lately.
I mean, they're just there with Valhalla, basically just challenging people of the same, what would you call it, ethnicity or country?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man.
Either way. After that, we had a P match, as I like to call it, or a swap back to let's see what Rampage is doing. Yeah, maybe not.
Right.
Between Asuka and Liv Morgan.
Yeah. How was that?
It was pretty good. Of course, you knew what the outcome was going to be.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, had to be Asuka.
Yep, Asuka won by tap out, and then everyone that would participate in the Chamber came out and brawled.
Go.
So there was that. And after that, we got to our main event of the night, which was the Intercontinental Championship match between Gunther and, this was going to happen, Madcap Moss.
Yeah.
Yep, and Madcap, of course, lost.
Yeah.
Not quickly, surprisingly. He put up a pretty good fight against Gunther, but we all knew that Gunther was going to win.
Yeah. I don't think anybody's surprised by that.
I wonder who Gunther will face at WrestleMania, though. And Gunther is the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of the 21st century.
Yeah, I mean, have they been building anybody for him to face at WrestleMania?
Other than Strowman, no one. And I wouldn't even have Strowman dethrone Gunther.
No, I mean, if they haven't even really started building anybody to face him yet, I definitely don't see him losing at Mania. I think he'll keep this run going.
Maybe. Unless, they have someone from the UK, return and face him.
Right.
And then our final appearance from Sami Zayn before the Chamber, giving an emotional, determination, an emotional speech about how this means everything to him and how he will dethrone Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. There was 5 minutes of applause for Zayn before he even spoke a word.
Yeah, I heard he got a pretty lengthy ovation.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Before we get to Elimination Chamber, do you have anything else you want to talk about? Any other shows?
Not for real, man. I mean, like I said, I missed Impact. I did see a clip of Masha Slamovich choking out Mickie James and not letting go of the hold after the fact. Seems like Impact is really behind Slamovich, which is cool because she's good. That's all I saw from Impact. I guess we do have a new IWGP Women's Champion in Mercedes Moné.
You're kidding.
Nope. I wish I wasn't, but I am. Yeah, she. We had the Battle of the Valley. With Kairi Sane versus Mercedes Moné for the IWGP Women's Championship, and Mercedes Moné came out on top. So I do think that was the incorrect way to go. Bad decision.
Yeah.
So
by my expressions, can tell what I think of that.
Yep. Apparently Bayley was at the show. She was in attendance.
What?
Yeah. She was in the crowd. She wasn't part of the show, but she was there. CM Punk was also at the show.
What?
So it was a New Japan show. I think it was in California. It was a pretty small event from what I saw. I think it was only maybe 2,200 people in attendance. But yeah, CM Punk was there. Bayley was there. I haven't watched it yet, so I don't know how good the match was. Regardless, Sasha Banks or Mercedes Moné, if I have to call her that, came out on top. She got the win. New IWGP Women's Champion. I also saw rumors that she's making less money working for New Japan than Chris Jericho made working for New Japan, which I think is fitting and makes sense. I like Sasha Banks. Don't get me wrong. Okay. I don't dislike her at all. She's talented. She's fine at what she does. However, Sasha Banks marks, man, are a bit annoying. I have seen so much talk of how she is one of the greatest wrestlers on the planet, period. I've seen one of the best female wrestlers, no question, hands down, no contest. I strongly disagree with all of that, man. I mean, I think she's good. Like I said, don't get me wrong, she's good. She has her place. I am a fan of hers. However, best in the world, one of the best in the world, whether you're talking female, male, some other, category, not even close, man. Not even close.
Not even on the list. Not even on the top 50.
I don't think so, man. I really don't think so. Top 50, maybe she makes it into the top 50. Yeah, I mean, if we're looking at women's wrestling as a whole, not just WWE, yeah, I could sit here and just off the top of my head throw out 20, 25 names of people that are better, women that are better, you know. And then stepping outside of women's wrestling and just looking at wrestling in general, she wouldn't even break probably the top 100. So,
and I'm also upset because I just saw another match that Eddie Kingston versus Jay White.
Yeah.
Ended with Jay White losing?
Well, I mean, he is on his way out of New Japan. I feel you. I don't think Jay White should be losing to Eddie Kingston. However, yeah. However, you know, him being on his way out of New Japan, that's typically how these things go whenever somebody's on their way out. You lay down, you do the job. So I'm not too surprised by that. I don't agree with it, but definitely not surprised by it.
They fumbled the ball with 2 matches.
Was that on the same card?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was the same night.
Yeah, that's just wrong, man. Yeah, Kairi Sane is way better than Sasha Banks, man. It's not even
a long shot.
Yeah, not even close. So, yeah, had that. I don't know. I mean, I feel like there was some other little bit of like interesting news. Oh yeah, Jeff Jarrett's father passed. Not sure if there's any like news on what happened with him. He was fairly up there in age, so.
Of course, Jarrett's fairly up there in age.
Right. But yeah, you know, always sad when you lose anybody, but you know, losing a member of the wrestling community, especially somebody that's, you know, responsible for a lot of great things. Jerry Jarrett, I saw. I think Stevie Richards just had an operation. He hasn't really revealed what's going on, but he is doing well and in recovery. So, not sure what's happening there, but glad to hear he's doing okay. But yeah, other than that, I don't really know that there's much else going on aside from Elimination Chamber.
Speaking of Chamber, let's get right into it. The women's Chamber match started us off.
Yeah, how was that?
Really good. Watched the match with my girl. I watched the whole event with my girlfriend. She was really interested. We were both rooting for Asuka, of course.
Now, does she typically watch wrestling at all herself?
She's a big wrestling fan.
Oh, cool.
She's sweet, likes wrestling. We have a lot of stuff in common. Both were rooting for Asuka. We both were thinking, you know what, Asuka's probably going to win this. It was a good match overall. I mean, we had, what was it? It wasn't Raquel. We had, to start us off, it was Liv Morgan and Natalya to start off the match.
Yeah.
So 2 SmackDown superstars. They were using the chamber a lot, like using the head, poking their heads out of the chamber, choking on the chamber chains. I gotta say, chamber matches are usually the least matches I usually watch out of all the special type matches, just because it's not that inventive to me. Or let's just say it doesn't have much of a risk.
Yeah, I've never been a big fan of the Elimination Chamber, man. Honestly, I'd rather see a Hell in a Cell.
Yeah. Hell in a Cell matches, Royal Rumble matches, TLC matches even. I like those over Chamber.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had after that, the entrant that came in next was, I believe, Raquel. Raquel Rodriguez came in. The SmackDown Superstars came in, all three of them. So there was Raquel, and then Nikki Cross came in. Nikki Cross came in still in her ring gear, was fighting with the jacket on.
Yeah, because she's crazy.
Crazy. And after that, we had Carmella come in, doing the strategy of where she's only attacking people when they're vulnerable and getting back in the pod. You know, the coward strategy. You have Corey Graves on commentary praising her for being such a smart person, you know, sucking up to his wife.
Right.
And then you had come in last is Asuka. Let's see. Liv got eliminated by, I want to say, Carmella? It was either Carmella. No, Liv got eliminated by Asuka and Natalya. Raquel got eliminated by Carmella. Let's see. It was a submission by Liv. It was a submission for the first elimination. Pinfall from a big boot for the second. The third elimination was to Nikki Cross. No, yeah. Wait. Raquel eliminated Nikki Cross, then Raquel got eliminated. I'm trying to think of all of it. I don't have the screen in front of me right now. I'm just trying to think back. And then the final two were Carmella and Asuka, and then of course Asuka taps out Carmella very easily with a armbar.
Yeah. So Asuka won that. No surprise there.
The next match on the card was the match of the Titans, the rubber match, as you would call it, between Lashley and Lesnar. It ended with Bobby Lashley defeating Brock Lesnar by disqualification.
Yeah, how'd that go down?
Lashley put Lesnar in the Hurt Lock. Lesnar couldn't break it. It looked like he was going to tap, and he healed to the two weak spots of Lashley to get disqualified. A low blow with his heel.
Okay.
And then after that, he just went berserk. He attacked the ref, attacked Lashley, giving F5s and suplexes, destroyed the announce table with Lashley and the ref on top of each other.
Oh, I mean, that's a good way to go. I think we speculated that Lashley and Lesnar would go down at both Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania. And yeah, it seems to be the case.
But now, what about Bray Wyatt?
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, I don't know. It's he may get involved to some degree. I don't know. Imagine if we see Bray Wyatt versus Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar, and Bray Wyatt defeats both of them.
That'd be pretty amazing. A lot of people have been wanting a Lesnar versus Wyatt match for years. Ever since WrestleMania of 2017.
I think a win over either one of those guys would do him well, but a win over both of them would do him even better. So
I mean, all three of them are former multi-time WWE champions.
Yeah. Yeah, and trying to build Bray Wyatt back up is a big monster. Yeah, I think either way, Bray Wyatt goes over either Lesnar or Lashley or both.
Yeah. The match after that, we had a mixed gender tag team match between Edge and Beth Phoenix versus Judgment Day's Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley. Both Rhea and Beth Phoenix had face paint on, but it looks like Rhea's face paint was more black, bloody type stuff, and Beth had a homage to a big wrestler out of Japan that came to WWE. I forget her name. Nakuma. She had the orange. She had like crazy. She was with Goldust for a little bit. had like the purple face paint, kind of like strikes or lightning bolts coming to her face, and then her hair was straight up.
So Bull Nakano.
Yeah, Bull Nakano. I don't know why I don't know why I thought that name, but Bull Nakano. So paying homage to her. In the end, it ended with Beth and Edge defeating Balor and Rhea. Edge getting the pinfall.
That's cool. And cool to see a little homage to Nakano there.
Mm-hmm. Now, the next two matches I was watching with intensity.
Yeah.
Just like glued to the TV, because the next match was the U.S. title Elimination Chamber match. And so the 6 participants of the Chamber were Montez Ford, Damian Priest, Seth Rollins, Austin Theory, Johnny Gargano, and Bronson Reed. The 4 that were locked in the Chamber were Theory, Reed, Priest, and Ford, and the 2 that start off the match were Gargano and Rollins.
Yeah.
Which was really good. I liked it when they started off the match together.
Yeah. Gargano wasn't sneaking up the joint.
And then they had a really good one-on-one stuff, and then the next entrant was Austin Theory.
Right.
And I thought, wow, it's pretty early for the champion to be out. They both gained up on Theory. It was hilarious.
Yeah. He did the run back to his cell kind of shtick.
Yeah, he did that whole dumb shtick, except he went back to his dummy phase and closed one side to where Gargano was chasing, but forgot to close the other where Seth Rollins was.
Yeah.
And so both of them got Theory in the cell, closed the door with all 3 of them inside, and just stomped the absolute mud hole into Theory.
Yeah.
And then came out Damian Priest.
Yeah, I heard a little buzz about that match. I heard it was pretty good.
Yeah.
But who won?
Let's not get to that yet. We had really good performances from everyone, kind of except for Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed is the dark horse of the match. You know, the guy that just came back getting some of these opportunities.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the first one to be eliminated.
Yeah, nothing impressive from him.
Mm-hmm. Not really, other than his strength. It looks like Montez Ford eliminated him, of all people.
Huh.
Montez Ford actually made it to the final 3, which I was rooting for Ford a lot.
Yeah.
It was kind of like the Kofi Kingston in Chamber of before 35.
Yeah. Kofi Mania.
Mm-hmm. Might get Montez Mania.
Yeah. Hope not.
Why? You wouldn't think Montez would make a great champion?
Not yet, man. You know, we talked about that last week. I think Street Profits need to keep it going for a little while longer. I don't think he's ready. I don't think Dawkins is ready. Just gotta let it go a little bit longer, man. Maybe, you know, talk to me a year from now, and we'll revisit that. But yeah, for now, I think Street Profits need to keep doing what they're doing.
Yeah, but I noticed everyone that was in there had a story behind them. Everyone in the men's chamber were NXT.
Yeah.
And Seth Rollins being the first NXT champion. And then also his history with Theory, with the whole Messiah and then the U.S. title stuff. But even the history between Gargano,
and Theory,
Reed. I mean, if you look at it this way, Gargano had Theory beat Priest, help them so Gargano could get the title.
Yeah.
So there was already beef between those 2 and him. And then afterwards, Bronson Reed beat Johnny Gargano in a steel cage match to get the title. So all of them have had encounters before.
Yeah, I didn't really realize that or think that hard about that match. But yeah, you're right. There's a lot of history there.
So everyone's faced each other kind of in that match. And so I found that to be really cool. Again, storytelling at its finest. All their journeys linking to a chamber.
Yeah.
Rollins being the only outlier, which is why he made Montez, actually. Montez being the only outlier.
Yeah.
And so the final two were Theory and Rollins. Rollins curb stomped Montez really hard on the chamber floor. I thought Montez was actually really hurt.
Yeah.
Which I guess he was just selling it really well so the chamber door could stay open so people could come inside. Which led to the finish. We don't have to talk about the finish.
I know you don't want to.
Oh, we don't have to.
Yeah. Who won that?
Thanks to the help of Logan Paul, Austin Theory retains the U.S. title.
Yeah. So yeah, Austin Theory and Logan Paul coming out on top there. I bet you were
Christ.
a happy camper.
Oh. Yeah, my girlfriend is also a big Logan Paul hater.
Yeah.
And a Theory hater. She hates Theory with a passion.
Wow.
She says that he is the spoiled little brat of wrestling.
I mean, that's fine. He's still the United States champion.
And he's still a kid.
Future WWE champion.
Nope, not even close. Another decade, brother. Another decade.
Future WWE Hall of Famer.
Don't even. No.
Yep. Future face of the company.
Budget cuts. Budget
No.
cuts, please. Those
No.
people's budget cuts.
You will you will see him on the cover of WWE 2K something.
No.
Yep.
I will not see him on the cover of anything. I will not see a main event anything.
Yeah, I would say he's the future, but he's the now, man. Yep.
Fly to whatever event he's at. Jump the railings and make sure. Will I get banned? Absolutely. Will I have at least prevented a tragedy? Yes.
Yeah, man. A-Town down.
A-Town goes down. Yep, so we had that happen. It looks like they're leading up to Paul versus Rollins at Mania, which honestly, I'd rather have had Rollins win the match, and so Logan Paul has a title to go afterwards in the Rollins versus Logan Paul match.
I mean, I think that's going to be a great match, dude.
Either way, yeah.
Yeah, Logan Paul, Roman Reigns was fantastic. I think Seth Rollins, Logan Paul has the potential to be even better than that. So I don't really need much of a title involved there. So don't really care who wins. I expect it to be a great match, regardless. So.
You know, I thought when Vince left, I thought they would bury Theory for good.
Nah, man, because you know, it's not just Vince that's big on Theory and sees potential. It's a lot of those, you know, people involved behind the scenes, a lot of fans. I'm telling you, man, he's got something pretty special.
Special. All right. Let's finish this off. The main event, the nail biter, the one I was most excited for. The one I'm surprised went on for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns versus Sami Zayn for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. I mean, wow. That was an awesome match.
Yeah, haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but everything I've everything I've seen has been positive. I haven't seen anything negative about it, and that's a feat in and of itself, because wrestling fans, we like to be pretty negative. So yeah, it's and that's definitely what the buzz right now is still about. I have seen people upset with the result. That Sammy didn't beat Reigns then and there. I think a lot of those people seem to think that the story is over here. I definitely do not. I think this is building to Mania. I think they're gonna have a rematch. Cody might be in the mix somewhere. I'm not really exactly sure how it's all gonna play out, but yeah, I definitely don't think the story's over. I think Sammy will get his time in the spotlight.
Exactly.
Yeah. So definitely be interesting to see how it all plays out, and I think it's pretty smart not to end it there. Because I think this thing has some legs on it. Yeah, still sell some tickets, still make some money. Yeah, why not?
Again, just go the Mick Foley route or go the Daniel Bryan route.
Yeah.
Have him win it. Have him win it all. Win it big.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I'm not exactly sure how that's going to play out, how we're going to get there, when it's going to happen, but I think it's going to happen. So Sammy will be rewarded for making this storyline so much more enjoyable than it already was. For moving some merch, for heck, even getting me to sit through as much Roman Reigns as I've been sitting through.
Honestly, I really want Sammy to win.
Yeah, I'm no.
It's not really me how much I hate Roman, which I do kind of hate Roman, but that's just me how much I was invested in Sammy.
Yeah, I'm not a Roman Reigns fan per se. He's gotten better than he was, and I think going with him as a heel is really what they should have done. A lot sooner. But yeah, Sami Zayn is definitely. I don't know. I do think he should be the one to either him or Rollins or Cody. I think you got those three that are like the possible, people to take down the Roman Empire, the bloodline. Not exactly sure, which one that's going to be. I'd be happy with any of it, I think.
Yeah.
So.
But just I'm ready to see what's going to happen at Mania. I mean, you had Jey Uso come out. You had the Usos be there.
Yeah. Yeah, you had some interference, some shenanigans there. Had Roman Reigns getting in the face of Jey.
Doing the same thing they did to Sammy. And then it looked like Jey was going to attack Roman, but Sammy accidentally spears Jey.
Yep. Yeah, he's going for Reigns. Reigns moves out of the way, and Sammy hits Jey. So it's just another layer to the story, man.
The entire time I saw Jey, I was like, dude, Jey, do the right thing. I mean, you can even ask my girlfriend. She just heard me keep saying, Jey, do the right thing. Jey, do the right thing here. Jey, do the right thing. And then it looked like he was going to do the right thing, and then...
Yeah. Well, yeah, like I said, I mean, it just adds a new layer to the story. Now you've got, somewhere to go with Jey and Sammy. What, how is Jey gonna take to what happened? And, Sammy's got to explain himself a little bit, even though it was clearly, he was targeting Roman. But yeah, just another kind of angle of friction between those two.
Yeah.
So.
And at the end, you had Kevin Owens come out and help out, stun Jimmy, and then stun Roman, leaving Sammy in the ring. Looks like they're about to bond that friendship back together.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, it seemed like a pretty good event, man. Overall, the event itself, most of what I've seen has been positive. Wish I could have had a chance to watch it. But yeah, I'll definitely catch that Roman Sammy match probably tomorrow, so that I can enjoy that myself.
Don't miss Raw tomorrow either.
Yeah, it'll probably be maybe Tuesday or Wednesday before I get around to watching Raw. I watch everything after the fact, man, so I don't catch anything live. So.
I always try, work or no work. We always have TV in the room.
No, I don't have cable, so don't have cable here. Don't have cable at work, so.
Well, we're already at about 2 hours and 5 minutes, 2 hours and 6 minutes in.
Yeah, I don't have much else to add. I do want to I think I gotta look into this Reels network, see if there's any way to stream that. MLW has gotten picked up by them, so now MLW has a TV channel home.
Really?
Yeah. It's something called Reels Network. Like I said, I don't know if they have like a streaming app or something where I can go and watch on demand. But yeah, good for them. So I want to check out that. It's been a minute. I always kind of jump into MLW for a couple weeks and then tune back out for a couple months, and then yeah, always like to check in on those guys and see what they're doing. Wish the NWA was doing something else.
I haven't really looked
worth
at
checking out.
Way.
Yeah, I think there's a Tyrus Cardona match for the championship coming up. If it hasn't already happened yet, I'm not sure. But yeah, I think Tom Latimer just won the TV title, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So.
Well, guys, I believe that's going to be it for us tonight.
Yeah. Check us out on Instagram, find our YouTube, subscribe, like, all that good stuff.
We're going to try and move lives to the new channel since we've got enough subscribers there.
Yeah. Have we hit enough subscribers there?
I believe we do.
Nice. But yeah, we'll look into that and see about moving it over.
Yeah. But until then, have a great week. Of course, I'm Big Bubba Brogdon.
Yeah, I'm Bush Dingo, the Lucha Dork.
And this was the Babyface Breakdown. See you next week.
See y'all.
Bye. Gotta hate Austin Theory.